Hello. I got a viewer request from Roberta Glass. Any relation to Seymour, darling? And this was her request. She said, women enjoy the cookies they get for accommodating men. That's true. I would love for you to do a video on the argument I hear most often from women. This doesn't affect me. Live and let live. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Then thank you, Roberta Glass. So that shit fucking dumb, okay? That shit is I wish I had some sort of cool phrase, cool comeback phrase to say that, cuz I've had people say that to me. Had people say like, "Oh, well, I think people should just be able to do whatever they want, and if they want to, cut their breasts off and go on really invasive hormones that will probably give them cancer and kill them, I think they should be allowed to do that." Okay, that's what they're saying. That's what they're fucking saying, and that is such a fucking lazy thing to say. So if you're ever talking to someone about that and they're like, "Well, I think that people should just be able to do whatever they want, and if they want to be trans, then they should be trans," be like, "That's really lazy. You're not thinking about this as much as you need to think about this." Like, truly. Because you're not. You're not putting enough, here's a phrase that I have made up, okay? A term that I've made up. It's called an 8 out of 10 stepper. I meet a lot of fucking 8 out of 10 steppers. First of all, that annoys me because reduce your goddamn fraction. 8 out of 10 is 4 out of 5. Okay? Fuck. But I made it 8 out of 10 on purpose because it does annoy me. Because there's no reason to not reduce that fraction other than to annoy someone. So, 8 out of 10 steppers. Imagine there are 10 steps, okay? And they don't even have to be physical steps. They're just steps, okay? In your mind, in your thinking, in the way you're talking about something, okay? And 8 out of 10 steppers will... So say we're us rad femmes, right? Us gender critical people. We are on the fucking 10th goddamn step. Okay? We are in this scenario. Where we're like, you can't change biology. Sex is real. Don't abuse children by giving them hormones. But our lib femme friends, maybe family members, people we know are down here. They're more like down here, but for this argument, they're right here. Okay? So you're like, hey, it's bad to have kids do shit they don't fucking understand, because kids don't understand sex. Therefore, we should not give children hormones. And this person's like, well, but if that kid wants to have hormones, they should have hormones. Oh my god, whenever I talk about this, I suddenly have the Timmy voice from South Park. They should have hormones if they want to have hormones. And then you're like, no. And this person's like, but if they want to. Okay, but you know what else happens, which is even more annoying, is that they're like, you're right, hormones are bad for kids. But if they want to have them, they should. If 8 out of 10 stepping is the most obnoxious thing I can fucking imagine. And I think people do it because they just don't want to do the mental work to get to the 10th step. Like, they don't want to agree with you. They don't want to even say, like, a lot of the times when I don't necessarily agree with someone, but they do fucking have a point, I'm like, you have a point. What you're saying definitely has truth in it. You have a point, okay? Or you know what, maybe you could say to your fucking 8 out of 10 stepper friend who's like, just let people do whatever they want. You could be like, you have a point, and your point is to ensure that more kids kill themselves from having been trans, to, perpetuate sexist rhetoric and sexist attitudes, and to further gender conformity, and, keep women subordinate to men. That's what you're doing. That's the point you have. I don't fucking have that point because I'm trying to liberate women from men. Okay? You are not. You are clearly interested in placating people who want to be placated for the sake of their fucking goddamn attention that they want. Because to twins is like a lot about fucking attention. Okay? They want attention for their choice to become the opposite sex. Okay, I get so fired up about this. I feel like I wanted to read something else. Oh, okay, I did want to read something else. And then, by the way, y'all are the best. I love you all. You're amazing. So, because I have just I just have the best followers, and y'all have the best comments. So, I said done to Roberta Glass. Thank you, Roberta Glass. And then someone named trans women are sexist men. See what I say? See what I fucking just said about the best? This is the best. Trans women are sexist men, said, and it is true. It doesn't affect them. Trannyism will always disproportionately affect the most vulnerable women. The poor, women of color, prisoners, abused women, and children. Trans cult hops are privileged twits who won't bear the brunt of the negative, parenthesis, rape, murder, abuse, other parenthesis, effects of tranny bobanyism. She actually wrote that. And then Brenda Lena, also fucking brilliant, said, at trans women are sexist men. Amen! The women who flock to play cheerleader for men in dresses are overwhelmingly poor, are overwhelmingly upper middle class women of privilege who don't have to worry about the consequences of allowing males into female spaces, parentheses, or their teenage girls who have no idea how the world works outside of Tumblr, end parentheses. They don't care about the women who will be denied athletic scholarships or forced to be locked in a prison cell with men due to the trans activists getting their way because they will never have to interact with women who have been incarcerated or who could never afford college without a scholarship. Thank you, Ms. Brendalina. Yeah. Hello. Maybe you could just show anyone, Roberta Glass, if you want to show anyone this who says, oh, it doesn't affect me, live and let live. Show them those comments. Because those are on point. Okay? And then I'll actually read another one. Daniel Calder said, trans cult equals dude puts on a dress and emotionally blackmails women into using the words he wants by saying, think and say and do what I tell you or else I'll kill myself and you'll be responsible for it. And since women tend to be more agreeable and compassionate, they're also socialized to placate scary dudes. They're like, oh no! Yes, master! True. Very true. And then, you know what, we'll just do another user request because I got time, baby. Lemyug said, hey, remember in one of your videos you mentioned becoming Radfem overnight after a dialogue you had with a friend? Could you make a video about that dialogue or just tips on how to talk to women about this? Half the time I can't even begin talking about it. Under the name Radfem, at least when I do not mention Radfem, they listen. Yet refuse to get on their feet. Thank you. Okay, yes, I will also talk about that. So, the questions you have to ask any libfem who is saying that trans women are women is you have to say, what is a woman? What is a woman? Can you describe to me what a woman is without using stereotypes? I'll wait. Okay? Also, honestly, in my experience, you're right. Unfortunately, you can't bring up radical feminism without them turning a blind eye and just you can't get through to them by saying radical feminism, which is so obnoxious. But try to just like slip in your thinking, when you have the chance to. Like one time when I was hanging out with my former friend who dumped me for being a TERF, who was a webcam girl, did webcam work, and was an extreme lib fem. I became a radical feminist, and I didn't tell her right away. And she was talking about how, like, oh, the poor trans people who have to get surgeries, but they can't get surgeries. And I was like, well, I really feel bad for someone who thinks that they need to alter their body that dramatically in order to be comfortable with themselves. I don't want to live in a society where that happens. And she was like, that's true. And I was like, yeah, it is true, dummy. Fucking lib fem. I feel like I answered that. Did I answer that? Oh fuck, I got rid of the comment. God damn it. Hey. Oh, no, not ready. Okay. Yeah, I think side note, I think it's really fucking cool when, like, big-timey people like Tarantino or, Stephen King can reference themselves in their art. I'm like, oh! So, I'm not yet ready for that. Okay, I don't want to fucking play my other video during this video. I feel like I mentioned this. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I also became a rad fem overnight because it was just like, everything made sense. Suddenly. You know? Like, women cannot gain equality to men in this society, and that doesn't liberate us. Slave paint is slave paint. You know, trans women are men. You know, I was just like, thank God when I found this, you know, because I was like relieved, and it was all true. It was all true. So, you know, it did take a while though. Because I was in the trans cult. I'm a former member of Twans cult, okay? No longer. Thanks be a great God almighty. But, yeah, it took a while. Honestly. But the thing is that sometimes all you can do, and I know it's frustrating, but sometimes all you can do is just, like, plant the seeds. Because this is such a win. Okay, last year I was hanging out with some friends, and these are people I didn't see. I only see like once a year, if that. And this one gal who I was friends with, I was turfing out, because I always turf out. I'm like compulsive about it. I was turfing out like immediately upon seeing her, and she got like really stupid angry with me, and she was like, "Leah, it really bothers me that you don't like trans people. You have a problem with trans people." And I was like, okay, well, if you actually listened to me, because she had already not listened to me multiple times. I was like, okay, well, if you actually listened to me, you would fucking be on my side. I didn't say fucking, but I was like, if you actually listened to me, you would be on my side. And she was like, no, like, whatever, being a freaking lib fem. But a couple weeks ago, so I hadn't really talked to her since then, honestly, because she was so upset about me being a TERF. But a few weeks ago, she messaged me and she said, "Leah, I am so sorry. I didn't listen to you before. I'm a radical feminist now." And I was like, she had to have her own experiences, and she had some really scary ones with a Tim. But luckily, now she's on our side, and then we were talking on the phone, and I got to fucking say, "Welcome to the resistance!" That was cool. And then when your friends come around and become radical feminists, you can say that too. Alright? Okay. Bye!